If you would ask to me which of the papers on SDD, Sustainable Development Diplomacy, I would recommend, actually it's not one, it's two. It's a pair of papers who together show what SDD is, but also show what a critical engagement is of SDD. So the first paper is called Sustainable Development Diplomacy, Diagnostics for the Negotiation and Implementation of Sustainable Development. It's written by Bill Moomaw and colleagues, and Bill Moomaw is one of the founding fathers, or maybe godfathers, of SDD. And therefore I think that this paper should be read by everybody interested in SDD. The paper goes into a number of diagnostics or principles of SDD. And one of them is, for example, that we go beyond traditional diplomacy, so also non-traditional diplomats, representatives of NGOs and companies are part of this whole process. Another one is what they call mutual gains approach. So diplomacy should develop in a way that all parties should gain something from it. Of course, this is a very nice ideal, but it doesn't work always, because you can only have this MGA, mutual gains approach, under certain conditions. And that's the second paper, which I think everybody interested in SDD should read, because that's a bit of a criticism on MGA, on the mutual gains approach. Because as I said, you need certain conditions under which this can work. And this is not always the case. And this second paper, which is called Mutual Gains and Distributive Ideologies in South Africa, Theorizing Negotiations Between Communities and Protected Areas. It's about co-management of parks, of national parks, so managed both by the park administration and by communities. And of course their relationships are not that equal, which you need for mutual gains approach. So they show in this paper that mutual gains approach in fact can work against the communities, against their interest. And that another approach of negotiations, which is called distributive negotiations, is much more to the benefit of communities. So the two papers together is a nice set, I think. It explains what SDD is. At the same time, the other paper shows what the critical engagement is with SDD.